Okay. Now that we're all here, let's start the Friday morning board meeting of the commissioners with the pledge to the flag.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioner Riddell?
Here?
Commissioner Moore?
Here.
Commissioner Hung?
Here.
We have a quorum. Under resolutions, number 1, investments.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Number 2, appropriations.
Move to approve.
Second?
Discussion. Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Number 3, there are no transfers. Number 4, advances, repayments. There are none. Number 5, requisitions.
Page 1 of requisitions. And page 2. Okay, motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion.
I'd like to bring note to the 1762, the year 3 of the 3-year grant to the Office of Children and Family First. Some good work that was done by the previous board and continued by this board for ARPA money, I believe. And again, as we look at 1784, when people wonder where all the tax money goes, and I was always surprised at this in my own office, but refill the postage meter, $120,000. So the cost of communication and getting the business done of the county, postage is expensive. That's all I have.
Okay.
Teresa?
It was 64, that's why you threw us when you said 84.
1764 and stuff.
Oh,
That's okay.
That's
I was
okay.
looking
We
at
got
there
you.
and I'm
We
like,
caught up to you.
gotcha.
okay. Is there anything further? Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Number 6, travel.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Number 7, bills.
Okay, page 1 of the general fund. Page 2 of the general fund. And special revenue fund. And page 2 of the special.
We're on 3 now.
Oh, we have 3. Okay. Motion to approve?
Second.
Discussion.
Yes, Mr. President, and
Yes.
I think we all agree on the board to give a shout out and a thanks to our folks over at the Board of Elections. We see on there the rental payment that they're paying for the polling places to make our election happy, and thank them for all they do. Make our election happen, not happy.
Happen. I was
There
gonna
we go, we
say,
both did it. We could be happy too.
I don't know if I was working 14 hours for $120, I don't know how happy I'd be, but thank God they do it, right?
Yeah, we thank them for doing it.
Is there anything further? Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Number 8, there is no personnel for today.
There's no personnel summary sheet and no executive session, so we're gonna spare Teresa the reading of that epistle.
And next is public comment, but I do not have any forms.
Do not have any public comment.
Is there any old business? No? Okay, board business. Number 9, continuance of the decision on the municipal annexation of 141.8426 acres from Pittsfield Township to the City of Oberlin. Attorney John Clark, which is the agent for petitioner City of Oberlin, has waived the statutory time limits. The decision will be on the November 8, 2024 agenda at 9:30 a.m.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion.
Discussion, Mr. Petticord.
Yes, sir.
I happened to be at the Pittsfield meeting, And there appears to be some changes that have occurred since everybody was holding hands and singing Kumbaya. So I think we're gonna need to probably do a little investigation. They're supposed to be forwarding some other information. But the issue of the annexation appears to have grown
All right.
past the original agreement.
I think the acreage, right? I think
Yeah,
so-
acreage, yes.
Well, you mentioned something about that briefly at the end of Tuesday's meeting, and I need to see what John files, and I'll look with Teresa, and we'll see, and I'll
Right.
talk to, I assume you're talking to McConnell at Pittsfield?
Actually, the community, there were about
Okay.
20 people in session when they heard the commissioner was coming, and they know that we have a decision-making
Yeah.
role in this thing, so every seat in the room was full.
Okay. Yeah, I'll see what, when John filed, if you could send me what John has filed, we'll take a look at it and see what the,
Yeah, he's
what
filed the
changes are.
original, and the only reason he couldn't be here today was because he's at a, because the decision was supposed to be today.
Yeah.
But he's at a municipal conference, so that's why he's
Yeah.
waived
I
it.
think he's in I thought he was in Columbus, but yeah.
Yeah, but what
But
we're
I'll-
voting on today is just to allow to have the meeting on
To
Friday.
continue it.
On the 8th.
Correct, the seventh, yeah, correct. But I'll get that to me,
I
and
will.
then we'll take a look at it, absolutely.
Okay.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Under Community Development, number 10, authorized payment to various vendors for homeowner Patrice B. Thomas at 309 Furnace Street, Elyria, to receive grant assistance for Program Year 23 Lead Safe Ohio project, which includes a contingency for any unforeseen change orders. 2 bids were received, this being the most responsive bid complying with specifications. Cody Construction Sandusky in the total amount of $6,050, and Consultant Kleinfelder in the amount of $1,650, which will be paid from the Lead Safe Ohio account.
Move to approve.
Second?
Discussion. Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Under Job and Family, 11, authorized purchase service agreement with Go Green Landscaping LLC Overland in the amount of $40,000 for snow plowing and salting services. This is effective November 1st of 24 through May 1st of 25 and will be paid from the Public Assistance Administrative Fund account.
Move to approve.
Second?
Discussion. Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Sanitary Engineer 12, enter an emergency contract with Cummings Sales and Service in the amount of $50,727 for the replacement of the Hidden Valley Sewage Pump Station backup generator in Amherst Township. August of 24, severe storms resulted in loss of power to the Hidden Valley Sewage Pumping Station, causing the backup generator to activated, but several hours later, the backup generator failed. In accordance with the Ohio Revised Code 30786, allows for the competitive bidding requirement to be waived if there is an actual physical disaster to structures. Invitations to bids were received from 6 local contractors, but only 2 received. This will be paid from the sanitary capital account, and authorize administrator to notify the auditor to release retainage upon completion of the project.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Bob, how old was the one that failed?
Put in the 80s. It's
It
had a
was
long
due.
life.
Thank you.
Anything further? Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
Under the airport, 13, appoint Sky Insurance Agency Elyria as the authorized representative for the purpose of arranging all aviation insurance on behalf of Lorain County Regional Airport, effective October 25th of 2024.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion. Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Children's Services, 14, authorize and rescind various personnel to utilize the agency's MasterCard for the year 24, not to exceed 2,500, in accordance with the Ohio Revised Code and their permissible policy.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes. Sorry.
Under the engineer, 15, approve and enter a subdivider agreement with Woods at Eden LLC for the Woods at Eden subdivision number 2, Eden Township. Subdivider has submitted proof of ownership, evidence of payment of taxes, certificate of insurance, and engineer's estimate of construction costs with approved engineering plans and specifications. They agree to bear all costs and expenses of the improvements contemplated by the subdivider agreement and to pay all plan review, inspection, and testing fees.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion.
For the folks that follow us on a weekly basis, this is probably the 7th or 8th subdivider agreement in the southeastern portion of our county this year. That's the kind of growth we're having in that part of the county.
Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Dell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
16, award and enter in a contract with Fetchco Excavating Medina in the amount of $4,841,966.03 for the Sandstone Parkway Phase 2 and State Route 58 roadway improvements project. 8 bids were received on October 10th, this being the most responsive, complying with specifications. Work consists of constructing approximately 3,400 linear feet of new county highway, storm sewers, water line, sanitary sewers, and intersection improvements to State Route 58 and Overland Road. Issue notice to proceed upon the full execution of the contract, authorizing work to begin upon the authorization from Lorain County Engineers Office and to be completed on or before July 1st of 25. Authorize administrator to notify the auditor to release retainage at completion of project, and this will be paid from the TIF funding, which was established by the Commissioners' Resolution 23-224.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion. Commissioner Moore. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes. I'd like to note for those that have been following it, there's a few signs on Route 58, but the road doesn't come out. This is the road that will bring sandstone out to Route 58. And I don't think Don's not here with us today. I would have him explain a little bit about the TIF, but this is a payment that we'll make and that will be repaid out of future taxes from the development as it occurs. So at the end of the cycle, this is not funded by the county, it's just financed by the county. Thank you.
Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
17, approve and authorize the engineer to enter into a consulting service agreement with American Structure Point, Inc. in the amount of $32,000 for the completion of the final tracings for the proposed roundabout at Overland, Elyria, and LaGrange Roads in Carlisle Township. This will be paid from the engineer project account.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
How many more roundabouts are we bringing in?
Make them all roundabouts.
Bob likes it.
loves
Yeah,
roundabouts.
look
I
Look
was
at
just
that.
gonna, I was saying,
This is a good
Jeff,
Is it? Okay, Bob. Thanks.
and Jeff could probably talk about roundabouts too.
Just don't bring up Avon and North Ridgeville, we'll be all right.
Uh-oh.
Why not, Dan?
You ready?
Yep.
Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
Under the recorder, 18, authorize auditor to continue special fund per Ohio Revised Code Section 317.09 and 317.321 for fees by Lorain County Recorder for the purpose of supplementing equipment needs of the county recorder on an annual basis effective January 1st of 25, expiring December 31st of 25. The $17 requested by the county recorder, $6 was placed in the fund, $25.40 recorder's equipment fund, and $11 were retained by the general fund.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Discussion.
Yes.
Yes, I think everybody does. So
My question for you, Teresa, is this the same amount as last year?
Yes.
So it has not changed.
No,
Yep.
last year they
yeah,
requested.
my concern with this issue is that we increased it by $2 back in '22, and right now there's '22. They have excess funds of $539,200. 2023, $555,000. I don't think the timing's appropriate today. I'd rather have this discussion in November in regards to when we go over how much revenue, because we're not only talking about everybody's budgets in November, we're gonna be talking about how much money everybody has in their revenue accounts, and that they have a little bit more freedom to spend than coming through our offices. So I was hoping that this, I'd rather prefer to have this tabled until the recorder comes in and we discuss his overall budget, not only his expenses, but the revenue that's coming in. And this is one of them, I believe we could cut back to the 2021 level. That's just my opinion, and we'll wait until we have that discussion. So that's my reason why I'd prefer to table this, so.
Mr. President,
Yes.
can I continue my question with
Sure.
Teresa? So it's the same as last year, and Commissioner Moore just brought up 2021. Do you recall what it was in 2021?
It was $2 less.
It was $2 less.
It was $4.
Okay, so we jumped to $2. Commissioner Moore, do you remember why we jumped to $2? Was there something he wanted to purchase
Well, that's why
that
we
that
could,
necessitated that?
I think
do
that'll be
you
the
know?
Thought
discussion.
that was
during the-
digitizing equipment
Yeah, it was,
or
I think
something.
that was the contract to
Digitize.
digitize the
Right.
records.
Which is what it is.
And I thought it was 2022.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But I think that's what it was because of the
And
digitizing
he's
project.
still digitizing his.
It's gonna take a while.
Yeah, he's
There's
in
a
the
significant
70s
amount of
and sending
records
the
there.
paper.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, I've got no problem with it, it just depends on what my
Yes,
colleagues wanna do.
I concur with Commissioner Moore that this is the very heart of the budget process, and we should be taking a look at that surplus to determine what the appropriate surplus is to maintain, and if some of those funds could be used to lower their ask for 2025.
Or
So-
not, but that's what we need to
Or not.
find out. We don't know.
We
So,
don't know, so, but it does belong squarely in the budget process.
So we're having budget meetings this year?
Like we did last
Couple.
year with the individual departments, yeah.
So I guess I should say public.
We
Budget
don't have all
meetings.
the information that we need yet. The county is still waiting on the report from the insurance folks to tell us how our fund did this year, to see what our insurance is gonna cost for next year. And we do have the report, which we didn't have a little while back, but we do have a pretty up-to-date and accurate report on what the auditor expects the revenue for us to be for next year. So those were the two big missing pieces that we needed to have before we could go forward and deal with the July tax budget. So, you know, we should have, you know, any day now, we should have the report on the insurance fund, and then we can begin to schedule hearings with the departments. I don't know if I'd call them hearings, but meetings with the departments to go over their plans and how we get the budget, you know, back in line.
And you throw in the aspect of the increased property values. Nobody knows how much revenue we're gonna be receiving until after the election. They're estimating $4.5 million increase in the general fund, but that's an estimate.
Well-
And based on what the requests are and the ask, we're short about $4.5 million in ask versus actual revenue projected. So,
Right.
yeah, so there's a lot more work that has to be done on the
And we-
budgets, so.
Mr. Armbruster and I did meet with, and Casey met with the staff at the auditor back about a month ago. And they have their estimated numbers, but their changes to the tax rates and the levies and the repricing, that has not been approved by Columbus yet by the tax administrator. So that's the final number that we get that says this is what we think we're gonna receive.
Well, not only that, they don't know what levies are gonna pass or fail also after the election, so there's still a lot more work
Yeah.
that Snodgrass has to do, which I don't envy. So, but,
So how do
do
we
we
proceed?
table this,
Yeah.
or what? How do you do the next step?
I still have another question, Mr. President.
Yes.
In your discussion there that you just had, you used the word private budget meeting more than once. So are you saying that the meetings, the budget meetings are going to be private, or are you going to open them to the public this year?
There's only 2 years in the history that I've been able to return around that we had public hearings. They didn't produce anything different, and so I think it allows us the opportunity to work it out with the budget. I think the taxpayers, they demand that we run the government for them, and I don't think they need to see how the sausage is made. They just need to know how well it tastes when it comes out. So at this point, you know, I don't plan to have public hearings because I don't think the public is in a position to understand some of the conversation anyway. I think that's why they elect us.
So my next question would be, Commissioner Moore, do you agree with Commissioner Riddell that there shouldn't be public meetings for the budget?
Yeah, I'm not gonna campaign. Bottom line is, there's gonna be meetings in November, and we'll probably have, if there's an issue with anybody, then we're gonna have it in the public domain, and we'll ask them to come in, like the recorder. He's gonna have to come in the public domain, I think, when we have to vote on this issue today that I'm hoping we can table, and that will probably be in the public domain. And I was here when we used to have it. I don't like the word hearings, but they'd come out in public, and it was more of a feel-good, look what I'm doing, look what I'm saving, which is fine. Some people like it, and the 4 or 5 people that watched it probably were entertained, but I think we can narrow it down. From what I've seen already of the budget, there's probably only 3 or 4 elected officials that we're gonna have to review and have them in the public arena, and we'll have that discussion in public. Other than that, I don't see bringing our directors in here in a public forum and go over it, because we kind of oversee the directors, so. So this will be on a case by case, I'm sure, depending on if the numbers are acceptable to all 3 commissioners. If they're not, then I'm sure we'll have to have that discussion in public, so.
Yeah,
It's that
I
simple,
don't think it's
so.
directors, it's electeds. But I will agree with your point that in the past, Mike did come in on that, on
He
this
did 3 years
$2.
ago, yeah.
Yeah,
And then he came in a year ago and wanted another $2 more, and we said no, so.
So those that are watching, if there's a different opinion, but the feedback that I got last year when the issue was raised a little bit and so far is that we get elected to balance the budget. That's their expectation. And it's up to us to do the job we were elected to do, and I'm sure we'll figure it out. We've got responsible people doing responsible jobs, we'll figure it out.
So what do you want, what would be appropriate
I'd
for
like
you,
to table.
Teresa?
Well, you have a motion on, a second on the floor to actually approve it. You had discussion, so you either can amend that motion to table it, or you can withdraw it and then just table it altogether, whatever your choice is.
Or you just vote it down and bring it up. Or you can just not vote
Or
for
we
it.
can just vote it down and,
There's nothing saying it doesn't come back up again.
That's true, okay, go ahead, it's easier for you to type up, so go ahead.
It doesn't matter to me. Commissioner Riddell,
no.
Commissioner Hung,
yes, I don't have a problem with it.
No,
Commissioner Moore.
okay, that's it, we go on to number
Yeah,
19.
yeah. I was just waiting to see if you were gonna do anything else with this all.
Oh,
Nope.
No,
No,
Okay.
discussion's
Well,
over.
Yep. Under the sheriff, 19, enter in a sub-grant award agreement with Ohio Department of Public Safety for the 23 Comprehensive Opiate, Stimulant, and Substance Abuse Grant, 2023 CSLEF 513, in the amount of $449,615.20 for Lorain County Human Trafficking Task Force. $437,058.22 will be applied towards the salaries of the Human Trafficking Task Force, and $12,556.98 will be used for supplies and other expenses.
so moved.
Second?
Discussion?
Yes,
Okay.
go ahead.
No, you go first.
Thank you. On Tuesday, I had the honor of being invited to attend an event for Cleveland Missing, if you remember the 3 ladies that were kidnapped for 10 years. Elizabeth Smart, if you remember that from 20 years ago, was there to speak. And I got to talk to the people that created Cleveland Missing. It's the only one in the country. And what was touching is they brought in several families from Cleveland and the surrounding areas, one of them being in regards to the hearing and the court case that's going on in Huron County right now. Very emotional, very touching, and I thought maybe one of the things I offered, and I would like to have a discussion with eventually here in this county in the next 60 to 90 days, is providing a chapter here in Lorain County under the Board of Commissioners to provide them with a subchapter. I don't want to create anything new. They have a very good program. And what I heard a lot about is when children are missing is the lack of support that the families have. They don't know because they're only worried about getting their child back. And what I heard constantly from these families is how Cleveland Missing was doing a fantastic job at setting them up with programs in the government, within the county, within the state, within the federal government, and what is available to them to assist them in their times of need. And basically, it's almost like you're facilitating a network of all the agencies that are there to help people. So I mentioned to them that Lorain County would be open for discussions to see if we could help them out, because we do have a very large Hispanic community. This is prevalent in the Hispanic community, issues like this. And it's not just Lorain County, but it's Huron County, Erie County, and Cleveland. And so they're very excited to at least open up discussions for Lorain County. So it was very emotional meetings. It was very telling stories. And I think the fact that Lorain County seems to be always leading the charge statewide, it'd be nice to kind of partner up with Cleveland, who actually started this program, and see if we can help assist Cuyahoga County and our neighboring counties surrounding Lorain County. So since we're talking about the human trafficking, I thought maybe that would be a good time to bring up that I think in the next 60 days, we should look at possibly partnering with Cleveland Missing and working with our sheriff and our prosecutors, so.
Okay.
I know your question wasn't that, but.
It wasn't. That's a great segue into Captain Bosley. Do you have, I see you folks are both here and you're on the work program, so I thought maybe you'd have something you want to share?
We were here if you had any questions in regards to the grant.
Well, just tell us what it's going to do and how it's going to be managed, so. Is that a good enough question?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Rich Bosley and Dennis Kavanaugh, Lorain County Sheriff's Office. This grant, you mentioned Huron County. This is actually, the Human Trafficking Task Force is called HEAL. It's Huron, Erie, Ashland, and Lorain. It's all 4 counties together. So this grant would go towards all 4 counties. It's a COSAP grant. It funds trying to get people out of the trap of human trafficking, regardless of what type of trafficking it is. And it goes along with the correlation between those that are being trafficked and those that are suffering from substance use disorders. So this funding will help hopefully identify the victims and pull them out and get them the treatment, the assistance that they need.
When it says salaries, then we're talking about the salaries of officers from all 4 counties?
There are agents from all 4 counties that are on the task force, yes.
Okay.
Do you see a lot of that with the muck down in Huron County? It seems like that's where a lot of issues come in when they're bringing them in for the summer help. A lot of,
That is something we'll be looking into,
okay.
the labor traffic.
Now, is the sheriff's department working at all with Cleveland Missing? Of what I just kind of mentioned, have you guys, because they had a huge seminar on Wednesday with a lot of responders there to identify, how do you identify somebody that's been, hits in human trafficking or been kidnapped? I mean, it was a really good I didn't go to the seminar, but.
It's, we haven't really had any direct contact with the missing from Cleveland. I know they're developing it, just like you said, so it's a good initiative to jump on board and
Okay.
start working together on it. And that's kind of what we're doing with this concept with the 4 counties.
Okay.
So we're all getting together, sharing our resources, identifying things, because there's no boundaries, everything.
No, there
crosses.
really isn't on this kind of stuff. There is no
Absolutely.
boundaries. And-
And Toledo is
Yeah.
a huge area for it. So we've been working closely with some professors from Bowling Green University and developing a program with them that's also even going to go into our jails and start doing interviews, trying to identify victims that they may be arrested for something else, because statistics show they get arrested multiple times before they're ever identified for the trap that they're in. So we're working on surveys and ways to try to identify them earlier and get them out of.
Yeah. Thank you. From what I understand from the things I've been involved with, like Commissioner Moore, very complex issue. And it's not just people that get a chance and break away. There's people that stay in that bondage, and we have to identify and get them out. So I appreciate this. You applied for this grant. Lorain County will be the
Yes,
manager
County's
of
the
it?
lead agency on it.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
No, thanks.
Thank you.
Anything further?
Vote?
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
County Administrator update.
We have no report this afternoon.
No report.
None.
Well, first of all, it's not tonight, but that's okay.
He hasn't slept yet.
And the only thing I have is next Tuesday, October 29th at 11 o'clock will be our investment advisory meeting. And then at 4:30 will be our stormwater meeting.
Mr. President,
Yes.
County Administrator Armbruster, did you want to go over the solid waste ribbon cutting yesterday and the public? And I don't even know if there's, do they call for tours? Are there special days for tours? Did we even get that far?
From yesterday, they gave tours. I mean, yesterday afternoon at 4 o'clock, the department held their grand opening of the education center over at the Port Authority's building.
Andy Road,
Yes. So there's probably 40 or 50 people there, I guess. It might have been 75. I didn't count. There was a ribbon cutting. Mayor Bradley was there, and Dave Moore, yourself, Michelle, Commissioner Hung, and many other people. Educators were there. I'm not sure which TV station was there. Was Channel 3?
Yep, and Cleveland.com showed up.
And they interviewed people. The education center is going to be used on an ongoing basis. It is well decked out. They gave tours not only of the entire center on the recycling side for everybody. I'm not sure whether Dave is going to have tours of it on an ongoing basis. That was not discussed last night. But with on November, I think it's November 19th, is that correct? We're having the career day. They're involved in the career day. The educators, the ESC was there last night. We're actually looking at a grant for next year to transport the kids from their schools to the education center over there. And we've got Tina Morris working on that as we speak. We're not sure whether it's just it can go to the county, it can go to each individual school. So that'll help the schools offset their transportation costs of the buses and the bus drivers. And I believe that that's $5,000 in each instance. So we're working on that. That will enhance the usage of the education center for the recycling center. And that's what it was all about yesterday. It was well attended as far as I was concerned, and they did an outstanding job. Not only in the fact that we advertised for it, but there was people there that were really super interested in what it could provide for the county kids and the residents. Not only for the kids, but for adults, Rotary, Lions, and those groups too are going to be invited over to see just exactly what recycling is all about and how we can help save this earth.
It's really well done. Looking forward to, I'm sure Brandy's looking forward to, Brandy Snow, with the community outreach and having the kids come in. That's kind of her wheelhouse among many things, among many hats that she wears up there. So I think it's going to be a great addition to the community.
Yeah. One constituency that was missed is the business community, the education center, according to Brandy and Dave both. They hope that the business community will make visits and see what kind of recycling is possible and instituted in their own businesses. So, but it was well done.
Thank you.
Board correspondence,
Move to waive the reading of the board correspondence.
Second?
discussion. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Dell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Is there any new business?
Just an announcement that we will be canceling the Tuesday night board meeting of Election Day. We want to make sure that everybody has their opportunity to go out and exercise their vote. And so as a result, we will just make an announcement that those that want to be on the agenda that week for the commissioners, you can get in on Friday morning, and we're prepared that if the agenda is a little bit larger than the one today, we can handle it and allow everybody to head out and vote. That's all we have.
And I have no public comment either, so.
And we have no public comment. Our meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.
Karen, you got